Hi everyone, welcome back to TaraChessAcademy. Today we're going to be looking at a study, and here it's white to play. So you can see that black is up 2 and is 1 square away from promoting. So white has to try to figure out how to equalize in this position. So if we try queen e5, then there's queen d1, and after we go king g5, just threatening queen f6, there's queen g1, king takes f6, and queen g6. So queen e5 can't be played, and also rook e8, just king h7, and this is just nothing after king g7, protecting f7, and black is just completely winning. So what we have to do here is play rook takes f7. And now the point is that we're threatening several kinds of mates. So let's say rook takes f7 here. Now we can just go queen e8. And we can just take with the rook and it'll just be checkmate. So also, if other moves are played, this will also come up. But now just rook h7 will be mate. So black has to play rook h6. Now, if white just ignores this, then there's queen g1, which just wins because of queen g6 and queen e6 mate. So king takes h6 is forced. Now f3, king h5. Now, still, if black takes here, it's just rook b8 or rook f8. Checkmate. So once again, queen h6. Now, after king takes h6, queen, and if we play king h5, then queen c5 check, and this will just be completely winning. So queen d2 is played, and now if rook h4, we can just go king g5 or king g6, both work fine. Here we can just take, and you can see that we're threatening a mate here, so there'll just be a perpetual check like this. And if king g6 instead, just rook g4, and this will end up the same way. Here, just queen g8 will equalize the position. So queen takes d2 has to be played because rook h4 doesn't work. And there's nothing else because there's going to be this checkmate. So queen takes d2, king h5. If we go king g6, queen d3 will be check. And then black can just come back with queen d6 or queen d5 and just easily win. So king h5. Now king g8. And now there's just rook g7, perpetual check. And if rook h4, also just perpetual check like this. But the most testing way for black to play is queen f4, because black is up 4 in this position. So if rook takes f4, rook takes f4, king g6, king g8, rook b8 check, rook f8, rook b7, and now rook f6, a very important move. Now the rook can't go to the f file and block the pawn. f2, king g6, queen. The queen comes back off. King f5, b4, king e4, and b3. And we can't stop this pawn because our d3 pawn is blocking the way to c2. So instead of playing rook f4, we played d4, and we still have all those threats ready. So black kind of has to play rook d4. Anything else, just white can easily draw this position. And so rook d4, rook takes f4, rook takes f4, king g6, king g8, rook b8 check, rook f8, rook b7, and now black's try again is rook f6, king takes f6, f2, and now king g6, just controlling the h7 square so that we can play rook b8 and trade off the queens. So f1 equals queen, rook b8 check, queen f8, takes, king f5, b4, king e4, b3. And unlike the previous position, we don't have a pawn on d3 here. So we can just go king d3 and king c2. And black will just pick up this h pawn and the game will be a draw. So basically, after rook f7, this whole sequence kind of was the most testing. And queen f4 was met with d4, which you would have to see through this line that the king is blocked. So just d4. And now we continue on a similar path. Now the king will be able to come back to c2 and just pick up the b2 pawn. So I hope you like this study. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.